Are you an independent owner who has spent years developing that brokerage name, putting your time, your efforts, your sweat, your tears into all of it? What if there was a platform that you can leverage yourself, increase the sales of your team, and also increase the legacy of your brand and your team in itself? Are you open minded to find out what the future is bringing? Stay tuned. Just to save us a
Ladies
minute.
and gentlemen, that is Steve down there. That is Jason up there. And this is Nima Gazai live from wherever we are today. But we want to talk about independence today, independent brokerages, the benefits of EXP, and how the EXP platform can help independent agents take their business from A to B, and how and why over 500 independent broker owners aligned themselves with EXP last year. And Steve, he's jumping out of his socks. He's a poster child of this. So we're excited for today. We want to bring some value and talk about EXP and the independent side of things.
So yes, I was one for 16 years, and we were doing well. It's not like we were struggling. It's not like I was struggling as an independent. I had 8 agents. Surprisingly, 80% of those were in production and doing good production. But it got to the point, Nima, and it's so hard as an independent. It goes back to ego being the devil of opportunity,
It is
right?
kind of evil,
And
though.
yeah, and, and Dr. Evil, and just it's my brokerage. Why would I align with anybody? I started it, I built it. I'll try not to be too long-winded here, but I was wearing too many hats, right? I was in production, I was developing the systems tools, I was doing the training, I had all the liability, I was implementing the systems. And it got to the point where I knew I wanted to scale and grow. And it got to the point where I didn't want to be the smartest guy in the room anymore, right? And I needed a different environment. I needed that change because I was literally, my mind was blowing. So I had reached out. I looked at a couple different options. I was in a KW office, and they were going to do a concept. It's like an indie brokerage, and they were going to allow me to work out of my current office location, a building that I owned. And I was in the KW office, and I was that close to signing. And I don't know what happened. I just boom. And I said, you know what? I need to think about this some more. And I got up and left. And that was the best thing, grace of God, thank you, Lord, that ever could have happened. And then I ran into an individual about 30 days later and still said no, 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 no until I said yes. Took me about 7 months. Short-term pain, long-term gain. And now, obviously, over 4 years in, I would never go back to being an independent. And the biggest thing, and I'm dragging on here, stay with me.
Yeah,
The biggest thing
we
that
like
I've
dragons.
realized, the biggest thing that I've realized is from in the beginning, it was for a selfish standpoint, right? I really didn't think about the people that I was in business with, and I'm honest enough to say that. Now I've realized that it's the best thing I did for them and their families because I couldn't offer them what EXP has, right? And can and could. So that's the biggest thing that I realized.
Steve, I love your story, brother. Super cool. And thank you for, yeah, taking us down that path. I know you said, hey, you're dragging on. No, man, you were telling your story, and that was awesome. I want to go real fast, and then we're going to hit this hard of all of our bullet points and be awesome here. You said when you joined, you had 8 agents 4 years ago.
Yes. Yeah.
Independent, 8 agents, came in selfishly, like you explained. Fast forward 4 years, what's your organization look like today? And how big has your volume multiplied?
Ooh, number wise. So we're 48 business partners. We're in 4 counties. We did just shy of 300 units and volume, I think we were around 92, 93 million.
Beautiful.
So it's definitely made the difference. And for me, it's I have something tangible in the form of ownership, in the form of the stock. And I'm just able to, and then business partners that we bring in, Jason, I'm able to plug them into Kickstart, Fast Cap, into those programs that are going to heavily increase their chances of being successful in a business with an 87% failure rate.
It's
So,
leverage. That's leveraging
mhm,
you
yeah.
as a leader and at the same time helping that agent to produce and make some money and live a life, right?
Mhm.
So love it. Nima, coming over to your side, man. I know one of the biggest things, me and you talk about independence a lot. And, one of the biggest things that you and I hear, I think, Steve, you do too. Hey, well, I've got this office, I've got rent, I've got all this. When they come to EXP, there's no overhead. Break that down, Nima.
Can
Yeah,
I
there's
can I interject one thing for
Yeah.
anybody that's listening? If you would do us all a favor, right? Put in the comments whether Nima's shirt is pink or salmon, and we are going to go back and look at the post and we will tally this up. Because me
Well,
and Jason
hey,
are convinced that it's pink and Nima is convinced it's salmon. So we'd love to get
orange.
your thoughts.
he
I
said he
digress,
said
please,
it's
Nima.
orange. He said it's
Oh, it's
orange.
orange. Okay,
Yeah.
so pink or orange. Nima,
Maybe
carry on, sir.
and,
So,
and if you're colorblind, maybe it's purple. So whatever color you think, put it in the comments.
okay,
Oh,
Ricardo.
oh man. So yes, speaking about the overhead with and you can have an office if you're going to be at EXP. You can have your own office. You can rent your own office if you're bringing your physical office over as a maybe you own some office space. Great, that's amazing. You can utilize that too. But the really cool thing is that with this using the EXP platform and you decide to be officeless, you say goodbye to paying rent, insurance, the utilities, the staff salaries, the computer equipment, things like that, servers,
Toilet paper.
software.
No toilet paper costs.
Right, yeah, right.
That's
Costly,
true.
costly overhead. All of that is wiped out unless you want those things. But in EXP, all you need is your cell phone, a laptop, internet connection, and you're tapped into our virtual office with more than
Mhm.
1,500 employees in the world, in the EXP world and workplace to help you to assist you with HR, with accounting, with commissions, with questions. It's all there. The infrastructure is set up there, which is amazing, is it not? It's all that is there for you. You're never on an island as an independent when you align yourself with EXP.
I
I mean,
think
go ahead.
touching on that real quick, sorry, Jay, is
Yeah.
from a profitability standpoint, right? It all ties in, and I think that if a lot of these indies, um, were honest about their books and their P&L, that they would discover that, you know what I mean, the majority of them are not net profitable. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
And hey,
huge.
and we have a partnership. We have an amazing partnership with Regis to where you can access their space. We have more than 3,000 Regis office spaces that EXP agents get for free. Maybe you're in London and you need to carve out some time to get some work done. There's a Regis space for you for free. You also have some low cost discounted rates to where if you want long-term rentals and we have that available to us for agents who may need office space short term or long term.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, and that comes down to how do you want to run your team, your business? And EXP was designed to not build that brick and mortar, but to yet give that money back to the agents. right?
There you
And that's
go.
where that 50 cents on a dollar goes back to the agents from every transaction. It's amazing because of that. I hear a lot that people are like, oh, EXP won't allow offices. So I love that you said that, Nima, because you've got Regis, you could rent your own, you could buy your own. You've got so many options if an office is ideal for your team. We're not here to change your team. We're here to enhance your team, right?
And I ask people, hey, what is when I have these conversations with people, I ask them what is more important to you, having office space? And nothing wrong with that, or would you rather be part of a brokerage that gives revenue back, gives stock equity back to their agents, to have the good fortune of participate in the company's revenue share plan so you can enjoy a passive and residual income, get paid like a broker without having any of the liability or responsibilities of being a broker. I mean, to your point, EXP gave away somewhere between 197 230 million in revenue share. I mean, is that not amazing? I mean, we're put in a position to have a passive and residual income, not only transform our business but our lives. I take that over an office space any day, and people don't go in office spaces these days.
Right.
When was the
You're
last time somebody bought a home from you when you went to the office?
never,
Right.
never.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
in 1990.
You're right.
yeah. Was your mustache there then in 90s?
I started growing on at a very young age. So
I,
possibly,
I
possibly.
I think one of the biggest things for me, guys, has been the liability factor and
Yeah.
not having that hanging over me anymore. Right? In terms of the E&O, in terms of, at the end of the day, we do our best to avoid it, but issues come up, right? Agents make mistakes and all that gone.
Yeah.
My world is peaceful for the most part. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
love that you shared that. That's a huge piece. Like who
Hmm.
wouldn't?
and
Yeah.
as an indie, you're one lawsuit away, especially in this litigious society that we live in. You're one lawsuit away from being bankrupt, from being wiped out, right or wrong. Whether you're right or wrong, I mean, you're one lawsuit away from going under. And how's that going to affect your family and your personal life?
Yeah.
Mhm. No,
And
agreed.
and it's even
Absolutely.
just like that, where like Steve was saying at the beginning, hey, he had 8 agents. Those are 8 wild cards as an independent. What if one of them screws up and goes to that lawsuit? What does that mean for your independent brokerage? So why
Mhm.
not have a backing of a global brokerage? You release all that liability and you can focus on bigger and better. And at the same time, enhancing your agents. Um, you know, and now Steve, and I came from when I joined EXP, I was actually with an independent team. And so we came over and I remember like not much changed. I mean, we were still a branded name at that time. There was freedom in that. We just put brokered by EXP on our signs and
Yeah.
stuff. How
Yeah.
easy was that? And that was the idea of the branding piece. You work hard to build that name in your local market. So
Hmm.
how we don't want to take that away. We want to enhance
Hmm.
that. Let's build that bigger. So, Steve, what did that mean for you to keep your name and be able to just level up?
Everything. So we're big on community events. We try to give back every opportunity we can. So we had a pretty good name in the community to begin with. So, you know what I mean? I was concerned about what that would look like. That not that we're doing anything nefarious here, but we have a branch office. You know what I mean? EXP has never been in here. They have never tried to micromanage what we do in terms of our operations. Logo, the only thing was the logo size. Your logo cannot be bigger. It can be same as, but it
Yeah.
can't be bigger than the EXP logo. So it was,
Comply.
yeah,
And that's
Compliance,
state
state compliance,
compliance.
state
right.
Yeah.
compliance.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So it was always it was a plus all around. It was a benefit to our agents, and it's a benefit to our buyers and sellers because of the exposure now that EXP is able to give us on a national and international platform. when it comes to marketing their properties, the systems that we utilize in order to do so, the collaboration that we've experienced through other top teams in the nation in order to take what they're doing to net their sellers, highest dollar and shortest amount of time. And we've been able to implement these systems, and we're able to collaborate with these agents, reach out of a workplace, and you're connecting with Kenny Fast in California that's doing 2,000 units a year. Hey, Kenny, what are you doing? Steve, here, this is what I'm doing. Right?
It's huge.
So, yeah, you're not getting that as an indie.
And Steve, I was going to ask you, as an indie, correct me if I'm wrong, is it not true that as an indie, you're on an island? Who are you collaborating with? What independent brokerage are you talking to, opening up your playbook, sharing best practices? Who do you have? I mean, even let's say pick a brokerage, any brokerage, even in the franchise model, there's that chance that, hey, Remax, how are you? Hey, KW, how are you? You have at least some semblance of that. But what were you getting in terms of collaboration as an independent broker? Like, who are you collaborating with?
Yeah.
You're training, you're recruiting, you're retaining, you're
Mhm.
collaborating within. You have no one that's smarter and doing more than you for you to align yourself with. That's the problem
Exactly.
99% independent brokerages have.
Exactly. It's
And
that
look
and
at
the profitability.
really good. And look at that collaboration tool, which is so vital because if you're in this, we're all in different states. So that collaboration grows in this case. If you have a referral in a different state, easy connection. But what if you want to learn more
Oh,
about a different country? Africa, Spain, Australia, Egypt is coming. You can connect with people so easy and collaborate with world leaders immediately.
yeah.
Can you do that as an independent? I challenge you on that.
And here's another thing: as an independent brokerage, you're you're recruiting. You're recruiting, unless you want to stay solo, which I don't know why you'd want to be an independent brokerage as a solo agent. I could be wrong, but you're recruiting, you're training, you're retaining. Your goal, your hope is to create producers, be a rainmaker, train them so that they produce so that you get 50-50 or 60-40, whatever your split is.
Mhm.
Now, if you train them to where they're really good, guess what? KW is going to come along, Remax is going to come along, EXP is going to come along, and talent will draw talent. You're going to lose them. They're going to become your competitors. Albie Stasek lost
Mhm.
two top producers overnight and had to shut down his indie, and that's when he realized EXP was the plan for him, and he was $100 million producer. So with the EXP model,
Mm.
you train them, you retain them, and if they have the good fortune of being amazing and they decide to leave your production team, great. But guess what? If you've brought them into the organization, if you're their sponsor, your EXP is still paying you a portion of their salary, of their commission from EXP to you. So you've created a second stream of income. They're still within EXP. Maybe they've started their own team, maybe they're solo, but you're still aligned with them. That's the amazing thing that you have. That once they leave the nest, you're still helping them. They're still producing for you in some capacity.
Nima, that's fire, dude.
Yeah.
Because it is. At what point, if you were on a team, does the brain start clicking and saying, man, why should I pay 50% commission to this team? I could do this. So I love, that you broke that down because it's this platform that says, hey, build them, grow them, let them continue to mentor or you be their mentor for life. That's awesome. And then EXP pays you on top of that. So you're always getting a percentage. I love it.
And they're growing
Well,
your organization, you're helping them.
case in point, it's right on in line with what Nima just said, and thank you for that, Nima. We have the number one agent in the city. So we have the number one agent in the city as of last year, a young lady that's been with me since she was in real estate. Well, maybe she's been in real estate a year part-time with another agency and then aligned with us. But being the number one agent in the city last year, she is now iconed. She has that 16K in stock. She has the systems, tools, and resources. I believe possibly if I was still an independent, that yeah, she would have been approached, right? I wasn't able to offer her what EXP could, and she could have gone in another direction. But she sees the value in the company. She's number one agent in the city, and she's here. That's
Wow,
it.
that's awesome.
So
That is
yeah.
so
All
great,
all
man.
about value.
Yeah. And man, you guys, we just got a couple other points that we wanted to make before we end this one. I love it. Great conversations. But you guys, let's talk about the back office side. What does that look like independent to EXP?
Whoa. Well, it goes back to the liability factor, the paperwork. Um, Now, Jay, I don't do a lot of back office. That's not my forte. All I know is the girls are thankful.
Yeah.
That's all I know, right? So we're able to leverage a lot of the platforms on the back end.
Mhm.
A lot of
That's why they're there.
expense, right? For $85 a month, that as an independent, you'd be paying a heck of a lot more for. So yeah, it's been a win. I don't know if
Yeah.
you elaborate, Nima.
Yeah, and I want to touch up because everyone wants to speak the language of production, right? Very rarely do people want to move to EXP because of stock and revenue share. That's important. We gave away 230 million, but people want to sell real estate. We were number one in sides sold in 2023 at 355,000, 40% more than number two, 100% more than number three. We haven't revealed our figures yet for 2024, but we did about 50,000 more at the start
Mhm.
of the fourth quarter. But to your point, training. We have Fast Cap. It's a program for free that's included in your monthly dues. And what it is, it's a 6 week process, 6 week course where we will train, EXP will train your agents for free. And you have some of the top minds in the industry training. And just some stats real quick. For the agent who completed the 6 week course, they set 4.1 appointments on the buy and list side per person and 2.0 agreement buy and sell. Now,
So good.
even better for those who completed the minimum required recommended daily talks, customer conversations. Those numbers went from 4.1 appointments per person to 6.9 appointments, and then 2.0 agreements all the way up to 3.8. So just under four signed agreements in 6 weeks. So we will help you sell more real estate because at the end of the day, that's the name of the game.
So
And isn't
good.
that amazing?
Nima, I was looking for something and there was 2 points there. Hold on. Old Steve's brain will get there. Yeah, I mean, where are you going to plug in to anything like that? As a new agent, it's going to improve your chances of making it in this business tenfold, right? I was looking for something. Units, 434,000 last year. So
Wow.
in a down market, our unit count was up, albeit marginally. I don't care. In a down market, you're up, your business is growing. It's a great thing. So it's up 3% year over year.
So we
454,000
wow.
units.
We went from 355,000 in 2023 to 430,000 in 24. That's amazing. In a down market. Holy smokes.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. I knew I saw it yesterday.
But
It just came out.
apparently all we do is recruit. That's all that EXP does, apparently.
That's what they say,
So
Nima.
they
That's
say.
what they say.
I
Wow.
love it, man. Awesome. Awesome, guys. Hey, last topic we have on this. What about the agent support? Obviously, if you're independent, you do care for those team members. What does this agent support look like? How can we get whether it's more attention to an offer? Maybe it's writing contract. Maybe it's just they have an issue with a paycheck. You know, let's talk about that, guys.
Yeah,
Support?
I'll say, yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Steve, you
well, I
want to
mean,
go?
support's there. We got a 24-hour support line. We've got expert care in the world. I mean, in terms of talking to a broker, I literally will do will do EXP world tours with potential recruits, right? Never waited longer than 3 minutes to speak to one of the 13 Florida brokers, at least in Florida. I mean, it's there. So for people to, I want us all to win in this business. I'm not saying you have to be at EXP to win, but for competitors, and I won't speak badly of anybody, at least I try not to, but for competitors to say, well, don't go to EXP, they don't have support. Don't go to EXP because all they do is recruit. It's a load of baloney, people. So the support is there. Nima?
I want to throw some stats because I'm a stat geek. I was
Stat
on a
man.
Zoom. I was on a Zoom with our
Bust
amazing but
that.
also beloved CEO Leo Perea the other day, and we're talking about support. So he said with our new system to where you can get paid almost immediately, 75% of our commissions were dispersed to agents. Get this, in under how many minutes? Anyone want to take a guess?
20.
17.
14.
No kidding.
75% of commissions were dispersed in under 14 minutes. That's amazing. I heard of a brokerage, a copycat brokerage, that in some regions took almost 2 weeks to get their agents paid.
That's
I mean,
so good. That's a good, I wasn't aware of that.
and
Huh?
then and
That's
another one. Last year we had 280,000 tickets, questions, situations come up, and 32,000 phone calls answered in 30 seconds with a 92% satisfaction rate.
Ooh.
wow. Awesome.
It's amazing.
Well, it goes back to that glass door, right? I think all this factors into those glass door awards,
Yep,
right? Best
Yeah.
places to work. I think
absolutely.
they take all these what's metrics into consideration, right?
Hmm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
support is there.
Well, Jason,
What
we're
is
gonna let you get a word in because Steve here and Motormouth and I. So we'll let you. So,
man?
Steve, would you like to say something?
Dude, I can never talk enough about the support. It's one of probably over the last 18 months, when I've talked to people about EXP, it's been, oh, there's no support. And it's so false. And because what I see, what I experience on a daily basis is amazing through workplace. Just like you guys are saying, in EXP world, it's 3 minutes to get paid, or 17 minutes, 14 minutes, excuse me, to get paid. Um, you know, Things are there on purpose. And that's why we're disrupting the real estate world. Over the last 15, 16 years now, EXP has been around. We're profitable, we're sustainable, and gosh darn it, people like us. So we're going to continue to be the leading source in all of real estate. And why? Because we're very agent centric. We're listening to the agents saying, hey, if I need support in this instance, I need it immediately. Cool. How do we do that? Let's make it happen. And that's what we're going to continue with our leadership, with our support, with everything that's going to make EXP even better. So, uh, Nima or Steve, you guys wrap this up. But I know as independents, listen in and open
Yeah.
your mind. An
I
open mind opens many doors. Go ahead.
Open mind opens many doors. I love it. Nima, I'm gonna let you finish. I think that um, at the end of the day, people are not going to experience everything that we experience unless they understand that we're trying to help them, right?
Yeah.
And so we need to. That always comes first and foremost, and letting people know that if it's not a fit, we need to tell them, and if it is a fit, we need to be vociferous about it. So if we lead with that, and understanding that it will help the people that are in business with these indies that work for these independent brokers in totality, that's the aim of the game. We can say it all day long to a blue in the face. They're going to experience it once they plug in, but we've got to lead with understanding that we're here to help you. We're not here to twist your arm to join EXP.
Yeah.
And I'd say,
100% support.
I'd say this wrapping up. Aren't you curious? Aren't you curious as to why somebody like Chuck Fazio with 900 agents, independent broker in Arizona,
Mhm.
doing north of $1 billion with a B? Like Michael Bean, 300 agents out in the Northeast, doing hundreds and hundreds of millions. Aren't you curious as to what they saw in the EXP platform that made them align with us and become even more successful, become even more net profitable, freedom of time, quality of life. Aren't you curious?
And on that note, if you are, you know who to reach out to.
Reach out to the person that sent you this video,
There you
and
go.
we'll talk then.